the central government has issued a new ordinance reclaiming its control on Delhi's administration and its bureaucrats. This after the Supreme Court gave the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi full control over bureaucrats. But now the central government's ordinance says that a central authority will decide on the transfer and posting of bureaucrats in Delhi. The centre with this has taken the power back over the bureaucrats in the national capital, overturning the Supreme Court judgment that gave the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi the full control over bureaucrats. The Congress leader and senior Supreme Court advocate Abhishek Manu Singhvi, who argued for the Delhi government in this case, said that this is an act of a poor, bad and a graceless loser. My colleague Ankit Tyagi joining us for more details on this. And Ankit, this ordinance completely overturns the Supreme Court judgment that came last week. So is the Aam Aadmi Party planning to take this legally forward? What are you hearing?
Well, that's the next logical step as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. They are going to go to the court and challenge this ordinance. But it does, and I was speaking to some senior members of the Aam Aadmi Party, it is a blow as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. Long battle, 8-year long battle as far as the transfer posting and the Aam Aadmi Party's of the Delhi government's control over the services department of the government of Delhi is concerned, which was given to them by the Supreme Court, and some very clear, proper and scathing remarks were also made by the Supreme Court in the order regarding this matter. Now, this ordinance, essentially what it does is it gives the power back to the Lieutenant Governor, which was in fact freed up by the Supreme Court and given to the government of Delhi. Now, it had, as soon as the order had come from the Supreme Court, there was some confrontation between the bureaucrats and the Aam Aadmi Party government on certain issues. Remember, a couple of days back, the secretary who was in charge of the services department, the minister in charge of that department were both at loggerheads, Mr. Maurya and Mr. Saurabh Bharadwaj. Today, the LG has signed has given an approval, in fact, signed that file for the new secretary as far as services are concerned. And by this evening, this order has come. So it has done two things. A, it has completely given the power back to the Lieutenant Governor, because he will, even the national authority, the National Capital Services Authority, which has been made, in which there will be three members, the Chief Minister, the Chief Secretary and Principal Secretary Home. Remember, the Chief Minister largely is in minority in that as well, because both of the other appointees are by the central government at this moment, and the Chief Minister would not be able to push through any transfer or postings or any other matter through this authority. Even if he does, the final approval will have to be of the Lieutenant Governor. So everything the Supreme Court had said has more or less been negated by this ordinance. Though, remember, this ordinance will have to go through the scrutiny of the Parliament whenever the next session does come in. But before that, the Aam Aadmi Party would be hoping that there is some sort of judicial intervention, because this is, as for them, completely contrary and has been brought in to undermine the Supreme Court's constitutional bench decision.
That's right, Ankit. It is clearly overturning that Supreme Court judgment that came last week. Thanks very much for joining us. And as Ankit mentioned, that the Supreme Court, while delivering that judgment, had made very scathing remarks, saying that the control of bureaucrats should remain with the elected government and not the centre. But this ordinance has brought the situation back to square one, putting the power back in the hands of the centre. My colleague Sunil Prabhu also gets us more details on this new ordinance.
That's right, Priyanshi. In fact, it goes back, there was a 5-judge bench which finally decided on this matter, and one would have hoped that in letter and spirit, the 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court would have been accepted. But that's now clear that the cabinet, which met yesterday, has finally decided to give that authority back to the Lieutenant Governor. Technically, the authority consists of the Chief Minister, the Chief Secretary and the Home Secretary, and all have equal powers. So Chief Minister of a state who is duly elected by the people will have a vote along with the Chief Secretary and the Home Secretary as per this new ordinance. And more importantly, in case there are differences with the Lieutenant Governor, and in case he doesn't agree, he can send it back to this authority. And if the authority does not accept it, then it will go back to the Lieutenant Governor, and his ruling will be of utmost importance and will be the final authority. This is exactly what was attempted at least 7 to 8 years ago. And that's the reason why it went to the court, and it had a long proceeding in the Supreme Court. Finally, 5 judges unanimously gave the verdict in favor of allowing, except for land, public order and police, the authority to the duly elected government in the state of Delhi. Now, with this ordinance, the government of India, the Narendra Modi government aims to undo it. We'll have to wait and see politically how they're going to do it. Lok Sabha, yes, they have the numbers. In the Rajya Sabha, they don't technically have the numbers. And this is going to be seen as an issue of an attack on federalism. And clearly, it will have a huge amount of political repercussions, apart from the fact that you're taking on the judiciary not even a week after it passed its Supreme Court order.
And as Sunil Prabhu mentioned, the political repercussions and the controversies are already clear. The Aam Aadmi Party says that this ordinance has been introduced as the central government, the BJP, is scared of the Arvind Kejriwal government in Delhi, while the BJP, of course, welcomes this ordinance by the centre.
केंद्र सरकार जो ये अध्यादेश लेकर आई है, ये सुप्रीम कोर्ट की संवैधानिक पीठ के फैसले की साफ साफ अवमानना है। लेकिन आज जो अध्यादेश केंद्र सरकार लेकर आई है, वो उस हार के डर से, अरविंद केजरीवाल जी की सरकार को पावर देने के डर से वो ये अध्यादेश लेकर आई है। तो ये साफ नजर आता है कि केंद्र सरकार अरविंद केजरीवाल से डरी हुई है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट के फैसले से डरी हुई है, और उसकी वजह से ये अध्यादेश लेकर आई है जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट के फैसले की अवमानना है।
देखिए, भारतीय जनता पार्टी इस अध्यादेश का स्वागत करती है और ये अध्यादेश बहुत ही आवश्यक हो गया था। जिस दिन माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने फैसला दिया, एक कंफ्यूजन ऐसा क्रिएट किया गया कि नेशनल कैपिटल टेरिटरी, जिसको यूनियन टेरिटरी कहा जाता है, केंद्र शासित प्रदेश, वहां पर सर्विसेज को लेकर के एक बड़ा कंफ्यूजन था। और उसमें आज अध्यादेश ला करके, मतलब कानून बना करके, केंद्र सरकार ने उस कंफ्यूजन को दूर कर दिया है कि केंद्र शासित प्रदेश का जो भी सर्विसेज है वो एलजी के साथ है। अब इस पे किसी को किसी प्रकार का कंफ्यूजन नहीं।